Struggle is we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow and never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere. Big mistake, 'cause we ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. We love the open country of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right. So we ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. So we ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One.
All the girls are right now. Super rare, the original Lash Up and Dance. Every girl right now, let me hear me sing. Lash up and Wimbledon, lash up and Wimbledon, lash up and all the girls, lash up and Wimbledon, Mali, 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 sugar, 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 papi, 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 sour, 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 sour. Remember say, lash up head. Remember say, lash up head. Remember say, lash up head. Remember say, lash up. What's up, up your hands? Entertainer time. Brabadabadabadab. Brabadabadabadab. All the girls, all them gory man stand still. And we gonna do a gory man walk right now. You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory walk. Jump. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory. Me say. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Hear me sing. So. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just. Hear me sing. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Strong baby Gory. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Hear me. Listen. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. All them Gory man stand still. And we gonna do a Gory man walk right now. You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory walk. Jump. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory. Me say. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Hear me sing. So. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just. Hear me sing. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Strong baby Gory. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Hear me. Listen. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. All them Gory man stand still. And we gonna do a Gory man walk right now. You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory walk. Jump. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory. Me say. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Hear me sing. So. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just. Hear me sing. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Strong baby Gory. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Hear me. Listen. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. All them Gory man stand still. And we gonna do a Gory man walk right now. You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory walk. Jump. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory. Me say. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. All them Gory man stand still. And we gonna do a Gory man walk right now. You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory walk. Jump. Gory walk. Gory walk. Gory walk. Everything. Gory. Me say. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Gory jump. Everything. Hear me sing. So. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just. Hear me sing. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Strong baby Gory. Bang bang balang. Cut your Gory. Bang bang balang. Hear me. Listen. Big Gory can wearing tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can wearing tight pants.
Morning, guys. Morning, guys. Morning. Oh, what story is this? Trouble. Morning, guys. Morning. Just let me know if you guys are hearing me clearly. I had to switch the cameras there, so I'm not too sure if the audio is coming in. But let me run a little music by the time we wait on this audio. So let me know in the comments if you're hearing me clearly.
Gory walk, gory walk, gory walk, everything, gory walk, jump, gory walk,
Morning to Suma, morning to Counselor Stephanie Nelson, Nelson Moore. Morning, everybody. Yes, audio clear. Audio clear. So since the audio clear, let me make it clear. Goldie don't wear in tight pants. It's only wear on the big short. You notice who got on a big short in this video here? I ain't say it. Well, I just say it, but the evidence is there, right? The evidence is there. Morning, guys. Morning. Welcome down to another episode of Livewire. I was a bit out of it yesterday. Hopefully today will be better. And we're going to go through the paces as per normal, right? So morning to all the persons tuned into the live already. Vina Ramkaran, Chris, Derek, Drupal, Mohammed Isaf, none other than the one and only Eunice Rabubir tuned in, joining us from Canada. Anthony Wong joining us from France. Miss Ramkaran, morning to you. Safo Diabro, Omar Sharif joining us from NYC. Lola Hari, Dioraj Nat, Sally Jones, always locked in. Prasad Pati, always locked in. And Hill, Mr. Kishore, Ajay Chatterpal, big up yourself, brother. What's going on in Bartica there? Neil Ramlukan, morning to you. Rudolph Sarju, morning to you. Joan Abidjan joining us from Canada. Derek Joseph, Jane joining us from St. Martin. As again, I'll mention Councillor Stephanie Nelson Moore joining us from the Mocha Arcadia area. Morning to you, Alonzo Jardine. Veer Badar, morning to you. Chitra Sukraj, Mukesh Vishnadat, Tracy Martindale, VJ Lacha, morning to you. Cecil Rampasad, good morning. Reynard Sobers joining us. Well, he from Diamond, but most likely he at work now. So joining us from High Street, Kingston. Geeta Prasad, morning to you. Soma B. Pass, morning to you. Who else we got here? Stanley Hamilton, morning. Tulsi, Raymond Tulsi, morning to you. Dale Henry, Savita Sukraj, morning to you. Vek Pandey, morning to you. Diane, morning to you. Rue, morning. Shakira Lexi, Tulsi Ram Chetty, Vishram Patrick, morning. And Hill, Faisal Ghani. Oh boy, wow, a lot of y'all here. Marisha Sami, you got some information for me, Marisha. You got some information for me. I don't see why I gotta wait till you come to there to get this information. A lot of people getting sued around the place. You gotta get this information. Let me make sure it's correct and get it out here to these Livewire viewers so they could know that some of these people who going around suing people, you understand me? Chopping up and doing all kind of thing wrong the place to other people. So please, Marisha, please start out the information and get it to me. Pam Singh, morning. Michael, Zaza Ali, morning. Marlon Boyce, morning to you. Let me see. Krista Kurprasad, morning to you. Marisha joining us from Washington, D.C. I hope the place ain't cold. Or if it's cool, I hope you wear your jacket. Anyway, people, the formalities are over. It's time to get into it. And as you can see on your screen, you understand, we're going to be dealing with Father Abraham this morning. Stanley Hamilton, I had a whole 2-liter water coconut yesterday. And we see the whole of the CARICOM region drinking Guyana water coconut. We on the map. You understand? We on the map. We are on the map. And if you notice, you have over this period of the year for Ali term, his first term, we've had tons of international groups and organizations visiting Guyana, being put into the spotlight through our initiatives and our policies that are being implemented under this Air Fanali-led government. And it makes my skin grow to see how Caribbean countries who once used to put us on a bench or treat we bad when we go there and them kind of things, run into Guyana now to be a part of of what is being created here, what is being done here. They want Guyanese to come to their country and invest and that kind of thing. And that didn't just happen by magic, or we wake up one day and everybody just interested in Guyana. It came from prudent planning, being able to manage the economy of this country, and being able to prioritize what is needed to promote and develop this country. And I will play an interview here for you this morning, which shows loud and clear why certain people and certain groups cannot or should not be given the opportunity to manage this country. You understand me? They should not be given the opportunity to manage this country. And you know what is even more sickening? When you listen to some of these individuals, and I'll call names, y'all sue me, like Aubrey Norton and Valda and Christopher Jones, and even Simona Brooms, who like to come and play. They are so interested in the well-being of Guyanese and the Guyanese poor people getting rich, and the proper distribution of the oil and gas money and all this other nonsense. When they were in office and had an opportunity to show Guyanese, yes, we want the wealth of Guyana to be distributed equally. Yes, we want to upgrade Guyanese in terms of their education and make them more marketable. We want to create or empower Guyanese to manage our oil and gas sector so we're not dependent on foreigners to manage it for us. What did they do? What did they do? Other than to come now after Irfan Ali and his government would have put in the hard work to turn around the foolishness that was happening between 2015 to 2020, to turn it around and put Guyana on a path where from the Middle East to North America, South America, Caribbean, everybody eyes on Guyana to want to know how they could get involved, how they could be a part of it. But you're going to have people like Aubrey Norton, them telling certain Guyanese, don't get involved, don't be a part of it, you can't benefit. And these persons, right, put no systems in place for the average Guyanese to benefit during their tenure. Nothing. And I maintain that. And all the persons who discuss me about my cussing of this government, of the current opposition, you understand me? Right? I am challenging you to come forward and give me evidence of anything different, of the opposition actually functioning in a sensible capacity, right? You come forward and bring evidence to show me different. I am challenging anybody in Linden to come forward and show me 2015 to 2020 something that the opposition implemented that benefited you, right? Listen, y'all don't understand how this man just make me want to cuss up. This banner sit down here at this interview talking about not farming in certain areas and blah, 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 blah. The areas that he mentioned, we can go through it. The areas that he mentioned, right, in their view are PDP strongholds, in their view, right? So he called Region 2, and matter of fact, not even all, because Region 4 is a PNC stronghold. He called Region 2, he called Region 5, he called Region 6, he called Region 4 as major farming areas. And he's saying that places like Region 10, hinterland areas, Region 9, where else he called? Region 8 and those places, Region 7 don't have a lot of farming. So it's either Aubrey Norton don't visit these areas or he out of the loop. Now, that aside, 2015 to 2020, what the heck was done to advance farming in Linden by the opposition, by the now opposition? Huh? The AP and new AFC, what did they do to advance farming in Region 10? Not even Linden alone, Region 10. Anybody know the origins of West Watuka, the West Watuka area there? And how that area started to farm and do that kind of thing? Y'all must check it out. Check it out. Anyway, let me go through some of the foolishness that Aubrey Norton talking here. You understand? And look, let me play this video.
I wanted to ask you, what is your view about the moment that
this banner, hear what I'm telling you? This editor, Jose Enrique, okay, the editor, he had a lot of time to waste. He had about half an hour of his time to waste on this day to engage Aubrey Norton in this S. That's why it's called it S. And Guyanese know what I mean when I say S.
the country is living nowadays? What is, how do you define what Guyana is going through?
I would say at the outset, all Guyanese are glad that we found oil and that we have the financial resources that will come from it. But you would know that merely having oil doesn't solve the problems of Ghana. And therefore, there are some major concerns we have. My first major concern is there seems not to be a holistic plan for Guyana.
No, his first concern is that there's not a holistic plan for Guyana. Anybody on this live ever see Aubrey Norton, the PNC, AFC, People's Movement, WPA, any of their plan for Guyana? Anybody has seen or heard any plan Aubrey Norton got for this country called Guyana? Nobody knows about it. But they are able to make these broads that we have a plan and there's no plan, and you understand, but never to highlight what the plan is. You understand me? What it entails, how it can benefit people, how they plan to implement it. Mind you, this is the bloody government of 2015 and 2020 who had all the plans and policies and stuff, you understand, but was waiting to be re-elected to implement them. Just remember that, right? They had all the plans, but couldn't implement any. They were waiting till their next term. Let me continue, Aubrey. Listen to Aubrey.
It comes over as if the government wakes up today and then they say they want a project here and they want a project here.
Mind you, the majority of projects that have been implemented or either highlighted in the manifesto of the PDP during the 2020 election cycle there, you understand me, or highlighted in the post budget presentations after the 2020 elections, right? So nobody just sprung out or sit on a toilet, you understand me, and pull out the backside, their derriere, pull it out the derriere that they want to build a gas to shore project. You understand? We have been hearing about it for years, and the planning that went into it, and the process to arrive at a contractor for construction and all that stuff. We've been hearing about the advancements in housing and how they want to put the young professional schemes, make housing available for teachers, make affordable housing available for low-income families, core homes initiative, cement and steel subsidy for your foundation. So we've been hearing of all these plans to advance housing, to advance infrastructure in the country. We've been hearing about plans to ensure that we have personnel who are able to manage our oil and gas sector. So now you have an academy or an institute fully focusing on oil and gas training. You have Minister Hamilton, you understand, up and down this country on a daily, ensuring that young people are trained in TVET and other areas to ensure that we have personnel on the ground to do the work. You have Minister Dr. Vindya Prasad, with our GROW program. You understand? You have the GOAL program, formerly under Minister Prag, now under Minister Ashni Singh, that allowing thousands of Guyanese, including teachers, to be able to upgrade themselves and earn more money. So clearly, there is a plan. Whether Aubrey Norton or his sons, you understand, are able to deduce, understand, or recognize that plan, that is an entirely different question. And that is what we got to take into consideration. That it just may be that Aubrey Norton and the Kool-Aid gang lack the understanding to see the vision or the plan or the blueprint that is being laid out in front of them. And I am saying to you, this is beyond Stevie Wonder blindness or Ray Charles blindness. Because if you cannot see the transformation that is happening in this country, there you go.
Rather than a holistic approach. That's the first major concern. The second major concern I have is, as presently constituted, it is structured in a way to make the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Hold up right there. No, here Aubrey Norton telling this foreign reporter who can ups him right there and then and say, what else you telling me? Right? What else you telling me? No, it is this PPPC administration that removed the requirement for certain contractors to open it up and make it more eligible for persons with less experience or now entering the market. How is that catering to friends and family? Look, y'all please share the live. Previously, you had to have, 3 or 5 years experience as a contractor doing government contracts. You understand me? You have to have contracts completed under your belt and all kind of thing. This Irfan Ali administration removed that and opened up the government contracts to a whole host of new contractors. A lot of them who are Afro-Guyanese, who are now able to bid and benefit. So how could Aubrey Norton sit there and talk about friends, family, and favorites when it is this administration who has made contracts, government contracts, more available to a wider range of contractors? I have stood or sat in the National Assembly and see an Afro-Guyanese contractor come to say, hey, I was treated horribly under the APNU AFC. And these are the persons who are talking about discrimination, marginalization, apartheid, and all kind of bunkum. Foolishness. Foolishness.
For instance, in recent times, it has been pointed out that our poverty has increased to 42%. And then the cost of living continues to go up. And what?
Now, let me just highlight 2 points here that the Vice President would have highlighted. Now, these reports that these people come to do, right? Whilst they do the reports in a wide cross-section, we need to take into consideration that when they go into some of these hinterland areas, hinterland communities, some of these persons are self-employed, or they work on their farm, or they're doing some logging or something of the sort with the self, right? So sometimes these people will come to a community and they're asking the community, well, y'all working? Are you receiving a monthly salary? No, the people are receiving a monthly salary. So it's not a formal job, but people are working, right? He's talking about cost of living. Now, anybody will tell you, including the persons from France, the persons from French Guyana, the persons from Suriname, the persons from the America, the persons from Canada, or anybody who on this live here will tell you that cost of living has gone up around the world. This is nothing unique to Guyana, right? So when I hear and I see people complaining about Oh, the cost of living. Oh, the prices. Oh, what happened? What happened? Is Guyana alone? Is Guyana alone? Y'all will go to America and still pay more for those things due to inflation over there. That is happening. Right? So cost of living is not just an issue in Guyana. And again, we have, and I must say, aside from inflation, we have cases of unscrupulous business persons. So although prices come down, you got an abundance of this greens or the greens or whatever it is, there will still be some business people who want to capitalize on whatever it is going on. They're going to keep their prices at a certain place. Or they might know they're the only person in the area that has a certain item. They mightn't need to sell it at that price, but because of supply and demand, they raise the price. Now, how is that the government's fault? Right? How is that the government's fault? Let me see who here from New York. I think I saw Joe Nabijan. Could you tell me if inflation is a issue in Canada? Sally Jones, could you tell me if inflation is an issue in America, whichever state you're in? Anthony Wong from France, could you tell me if inflation is an issue in France? Why is the opposition acting like inflation and global activities and situations aren't having an effect on Guyana? Look, we have Rocky from Suriname saying cost of living is high there. You understand me? So I don't understand why the opposition tries to pretend like only in Guyana prices have gone up. The government has continued to put or to absorb the excise tax on fuel. The government has continued to absorb these taxes for importation of containers and those kind of things to cushion the effects of these rising costs on Guyanese. But this idiot here on the left-hand side with the big jersey, and you know what's wearing the big jersey, right? This idiot here is going to pretend like the government here from Ali got something to do with the price of pumpkin on the market and them kind of foolishness. I notice they have something circulating around checking to see how much Chinese supermarket they got and how much local supermarket they got. Let me tell y'all something right now. Jeez. So guys, listen, my phone, the screen is messed up, so you can't call. I can't even answer the phone. Right? So I am out of not gonna be taking calls for a little while. I can't even put the phone on silent. Can't do nothing with it. So don't try to call because I can't answer. Right? But shucks, what was I saying? Anyway, let me play Aubrey and catch myself just now. The call threw me off. But guys, I can't answer the calls. The phone screen messed up. And we can sort that out. But today with no calls.
Do you see? You see a government that is putting resources into infrastructure. Infrastructure that is poorly done. Infrastructure that is not well thought out. And
No, you see this thing. What infrastructure the coalition they invest in? Huh? What infrastructure? You can go and you can see a few arches around the place, but they were built by private entities, not the government of this country at the time. Right? You're talking about poor infrastructure. What about no infrastructure, brother? What about no community roads, brother? No new highway, brother. No new high schools, brother. No new hospitals, brother. So those things aren't important to Aubrey Norton with an economy that is now oil and gas rich. Right? There's no need to invest in those things. because the population is not going to grow. We're not going to need more schools. We're not going to need roads to move the trucks and the stuff that develop in this country. Y'all can imagine for the persons who live here, y'all could please put it in your mind and think for me for a second. Just think about it. Anybody who is currently living in Guyana, y'all could imagine what the East Bank would have been like. Let me say we did not have Heroes Highway. And I mean, that is the only example. This is the only example. Oh, Chinese supermarket that they're talking about. Thank you, Diane. I can come back to the just now. But y'all could imagine what the traffic on the East Bank would have been like anytime. All them trucks, everything that coming, all the sand and stone and everything that coming down from the highway. All the people that coming to work, everybody that coming from over the river. Y'all could imagine where the East Bank would be right now. Imagine. It is problem still. Imagine if we had the Heroes Highway. Imagine if we didn't have the Heroes Highway to divert all the traffic. People who are going to Diamond literally don't go on the East Bank there no more. There's no reason for you to be there. Unless you're coming out, and even if you're going to villages along the East Bank up to Diamond, like literally you got no reason to be out there. No. Because you can access it from the back. That is the kind of transformation Aubrey Norton is blind to. I don't know if he holding the two sun in front of his face or what, but he is completely blind to. And probably because he don't travel there. And he's traveled there because he got the pig farm in Linden. Y'all can imagine the people who live on the west side when that road from Crane to Schooner comes into play. You know the treachery people who live on the West Bank has got to go through in the morning and on the afternoon time. If you're living between the bridge and Vreeden Hoop. Right? I want people to understand that. And that is what you're calling transformational infrastructure. I see Ajay Chatterpal comment. Y'all can imagine when you could drive from Parika to Goshen and you're literally in Bartica already. You take a boat, go 5 minutes across, you're in Bartica. Y'all understand what's going on? Y'all understand what the opposition is claiming? No development, nothing happening, the country, friends, family, and favorites. This is the cry of a group who has literally failed miserably at their task of managing this country. Failed miserably. Aubrey Norton had no role of significance in the last government. He was the advisor on youth. He was the youth advisor that was not a youth. Unless you talk about the two youths he walking around there with. That was the only young thing about Aubrey Norton as a youth advisor. The two youths that he's walking around with all the time. All the time. All the time. This is the only youths he had. Right? Let me continue. Can you talk some more stupidness I want to touch on here?
And there are billions of dollars identified for infrastructure, but you lack the institutional capacity to implement those projects.
Now, what is Aubrey Norton talking about lacking an institutional capacity to implement projects? All the projects that the government have started, all the programs and projects that the government has started are on their way to completion. What is Aubrey Norton talking about? The only project they completed was Durban Park. And look at what was completed. A wooden flapping stadium. I see that some cleanup out there. I gotta go and see how the place look now. And y'all blasted right. Y'all blasted right. Because here, not a boy calling me to go to help clean Durban Park. Aubrey Norton got rally he troops so that worry is there. You hear me? And not a soul in calling me to help clean Durban Park. Anywhere else. Anywhere else. Aubrey Norton and them gonna go and look after that worries. Nonsense.
And so you've seen right away we're on a trajectory of waste. And that worries me. What Ghana needs at this stage.
This ban is a waste. This ban is a waste.
Is a holistic plan. And that plan must put the people of Guyana first.
So restoring the Because We Care grant to the youths is now putting the people of Guyana first. Ensuring that the PPP promising to increase pension by 100%, and in 2024 they're at 75% increase of pension, is now putting the people first. Restoring the joint services 1 month bonus is now putting the people first. Paying for assisting persons who are on dialysis with their costs of treatment is now putting the people first. Buying fertilizer for farmers is now putting the people first. Making sure the people got proper road for drive on is not putting the people first. Ensuring the teachers are spending their own money to buy school supplies is not putting the people first. Building hospitals so that the people in the country healthy is not putting the people first. Building schools on the coast and the hinterland so that the future generations don't be stupid like Aubrey Norton is not putting the people first. Aubrey Norton them literally built no new schools, no new high schools in this country for 5 years. No new high schools in this country for 5 years. And they're talking about putting the people first. All them taxes that the government take off the backs of the Guyanese people does not put in the people first. How Aubrey Norton could sit there? I got to get a feather and a feather. I got. Listen, this man is a horrible person. How could Aubrey Norton sit there and claim the government not putting the people first? Finding housing for people is not putting the people first. For a low-income earner who, I can't remember all the requirements, but the core home program, you're unable to build your house. You got your house lot already. You're unable to build your house. $100,000 give you a 2-bedroom house constructed, concrete, everything, septic tank, bathroom, kitchen, everything that you got your core home program. Does not put in the people first, Aubrey Norton. What initiative y'all had similar in any way, shape, or form? What new housing scheme did y'all build 2015 to 2020? Every house lot out of the 7 on the 8,000 that y'all shared out during 2015 to 2020 was shared in a scheme constructed by the People's Progressive Party. House lots that were made available by the People's Progressive Party. Not one of your housing ministers developed a housing scheme in this country, Aubrey Norton. Not one. And you're talking about putting the people first? If you were putting the people first, you would have accepted 5 months before we had the final iteration of the elections. You would have accepted that Irfan Ali and the People's Progressive Party would have trounced you because y'all did nonsense during your first term of a waste of a president of Granger. Worries, Granger's danger. Everybody say Granger's danger. You understand me? So for him to sit here and be so hypocritical, he liming with Annette Ferguson too much. He's liming with Annette too much.
Countries that develop first their human resource capabilities. And I'm not satisfied that we are putting enough resources into human resource development.
Now listen to this, wretch. Listen to this banner. I just tell y'all. You hear me? I just tell y'all. During the coalition's time, there were no new secondary schools built in this country. You understand? So, population increasing, they got no new schools for persons to go to. So, it was a possibility of schools being overloaded with students. So, you got that teachers won't be able to focus directly and have that hands-on approach with the students. Right? Other than the Bertram Collins College of Foolishness. You hear me? The Bertram Collins College of Foolish Idiocy. Nonsense. That stupid institution. That was the only thing that the coalition government was using to advance education in this country. The Bertram Collins College of Idiots, because that's it. And then Aubrey Norton was running some stupid training program at Kuru that had a certificate that carried no weight whatsoever. None. Can turn around and talk about the government not investing in human resources. So because we care to allow parents to have some assistance to ensure they have everything for their child to go to school is not an investment in the human resources. The hot meal program that ensuring that children go to school and they're able to function because they're studying, oh God, I ain't had nothing to eat this morning, what I'm going to do, I'm hungry, I can't focus. That's not looking after the future, the youths, the children, the thing that coming up to lead we, Aubrey. These new schools that are being built around this country. Again, like as I mentioned before, Minister Hamilton, who has been working hard with his ministry to make sure persons are trained in technical areas because we need operators and mechanics and things like that. The recently launched Oil and Gas Institute, Aubrey Norton. Seriously? Seriously, you ain't hear about these things that are going on? You ain't seeing all the Guyanese that getting churned out a bit and all these other programs? Aubrey Norton then goes on to, let me let he say it, and then I'm going to address it.
Is what is called a gold program in which there's scholarship.
Now, mind you, the gold program, the only thing that they had to compare it to is the Bertram Collins College of S. The Bertram Collins College of S. You hear? Who not putting on persons that are internationally certified. Who is not partnering with internationally recognized colleges and universities. And this banner talking about gold,
etc. But it is not well structured, and I don't think it is geared to improve the capacity of this country to manage an oil and gas sector and to manage the society.
That is why I said just now, Aubrey Norton, there's an oil and gas institute. So y'all see here again what I'm showing you. It's about understanding, and sometimes persons think it's about reading and understanding. Just even listening, it might be difficult for some people, like Aubrey Norton, right? How is the goal supposed to advance oil and gas? You could teach them management and that kind of thing, sure. But there's an oil and gas institute for that, sir. Come on, Aubrey.
The development of the society generally. I'll give you an example.
Let's give us one.
With the coming of oil and gas, you see an increase of people coming to Guyana.
Okay.
That has resulted in increased demands on the things we produce, especially agricultural produce.
Okay.
But the government has done nothing to improve and increase agricultural production.
So, in relation to that, diversifications of crops and livestock. So you have the hemp association and that kind, the hemp farming that is being pushed in region 6 and region 10. You had the fertilizer distribution with the government because of the Ukraine war, fertilizer prices skyrocketed. So the government purchased a lump sum of fertilizer and distributed it to farmers. You have the cage culture happening in certain indigenous villages. You have the black belly sheep partnership where Barbados sends us these sheep where we breed and they yield higher meat and that kind of thing. You have the effing black giant chicken, this blasted man Aubrey Norton in Easy Buy. These people in Easy. So if you don't have access to the information and only listening to Aubrey Norton, you think we says gospel, right? You have the black giant chicken, more meat, bigger eggs they're producing, right? What else they doing? Oh gosh, the Shade House Initiative for the high value crops, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots that are going to be produced here. You have the soybeans and corn initiative so that we're producing our own chicken feed and that kind of thing here. Aubrey Norton is a blasted, deceitful big man. And to be lying in front of his two children like that is terrible. Because your children could only be like you. And if you lying in front of your two sons, so what you expect from them? This man dangerous.
Now, we in government, I've said before, and we will implement it. Agriculture is restricted
Thank you.
to
Look, somebody, Stanley Hamilton, thank you. The Texas Bull, they're doing that thing with the cows too. They're bringing in these bigger breeds. You understand me? Bringing in these bigger breeds. So, and doing artificial insemination and these kinds of things. Aubrey Norton is a deceitful, misleading banner. You understand me? Deceitful. How people could lie in front of the children, so that's bad.
Large measure. Regions 2, 3, 5, 6, and parts of region 4.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. Those regions you listed are the ones you're saying that there's heavy focus on agriculture, right? Listen.
But regions 1, which is 7, 8, 9, and 10, most of which are interior regions, they carry in agricultural produce, or in some cases...
Okay. My question is this, Aubrey Norton, what did Noel Holder do to advance agriculture in those regions that you are saying that are importing greens? How did he advance agriculture in those regions? Mind you, the soybean project in region 10, right? The aquaculture stuff, I think is region 2 and someplace else. The hemp farm is region 6 and region 10. And they got other initiatives that are helping farmers in those same regions I'm talking about that being neglected.
Like in the Europe only rely on the Brazil border.
Those regions are state, what we call provinces or states for, that's it for,
we call them regions.
Okay, perfect.
And so these regions, many of them are not producing food in the way that they should. So one of the things we will do is to have an agricultural program that is aimed at creating sustainable village.
Why you didn't have one before? Why didn't you have one before? How is it only now you need an agricultural program? You can suggest that to Noel Holder. You can suggest that to Granger, that, hey, we need an agricultural program. Why is it now, after being booted out of office, you have all these wonderful, grand ideas? Come on.
Sustainable regions. It will help to cut cost of production, cost of the product, because when you have to fly in products into regions 1, 7, and so, then it's costly. But if you have that production going there, you will increase the general production of the society to cater for those who are coming. And because you will be producing in certain large quantities, then you will reduce the cost. So the next concern I have is the absence of measures to reduce the cost of living. The government has a cash grant program, but they are ad hoc.
So he talking about measures to reduce the cost of living, right? The next thing out of his mouth is cash grant. This, and y'all see why I said this man is an idiot. Cash grant is a measure to reduce cost of living. The cash grant that you're getting one off is a measure to reduce cost. How long the cash grant can last, Aubrey? How long is the cash grant going to last? Aubrey Norton people. No, this is a measure. Let me tell y'all a couple of the measures, as I mentioned before, that are geared at impacting inflation and the rising cost of living. So you see the $2.19 y'all paying at the pump, at the gas station, it's supposed to be much higher, right? So instead of, you have an initiative what? Right. So we're talking about cash grant. Now, Aubrey Norton, again, I say, lacks the holistic view of implementing measures to cushion the rising costs of living. Now, one of the main measures that was implemented to cushion the rise of cost of living that could be attributed to Aubrey Norton and crew is the taxes that were removed when this administration took office. Over 200 taxes, right? So they were taxing data, the taxing water for old people, pensioners, all kind of thing the AP and UFC taxed. So when the government came in to cushion the rise of cost of living, they reverted all of those taxes and licensing fees back to what they were. So right away, there was a policy to cushion the rising cost of living. Blasted comic, Aubrey Norton. Right? So along with the gas that you are paying pre-COVID prices for currently, you're supposed to be paying more. Along with the taxes that the APNU implement, that the PPPC reverted, you would have been paying more on the Aubrey Norton, right? So that cushion the cost of living. Because all the money that the people are going to be paying in extra taxes, they can now take it and buy pumpkin. Yeah, everybody say pumpkin and planting expensive. You can take it and buy pumpkin and planting. Right? So we hear about gas, we hear about gas, we hear about the rolling back of taxes. Freight costs, again, I mentioned, stuck at pre-COVID-19 prices. And that's the government, again, stepping in to make sure that people don't have to deal with these increased costs. Mind you, I did say earlier that you will have some unscrupulous business people that will still maintain their high prices because they're looking to capitalize on whatever is going on. But that's not the government's fault, right? That's not the government's fault. So again, you have a case where Aubrey Norton just cannot recognize the things that he's claiming that he's not seeing in the country.
They wake up tomorrow morning and they decide we're giving people in the river cash grant. They call it a riverine cash grant.
Those are special.
So imagine the government gave a cash grant to persons in indigenous or hinterland areas, riverine areas, and Aubrey Norton claims that's an ad hoc manner. Remember, these people don't have access to all the things and amenities that we would have on the coast, right? So by giving them a little brace, that's an issue.
Bonuses that people receive, or
They call it cash grant. There's a flood, you give a cash grant. We believe that there's need for cash to go to our people, but it should be structured. And very importantly, a lot of these cash that are going out, ministers and senior government officials go with a bag of money.
Now, again, hear the scandal. Hear the scandal by Aubrey Norton. This. We're not talking about Cathy Hughes, Aubrey Norton, that was collecting the $2 million from telecommunications ministry every time she going out on her outreach, right? At every distribution, whether it was a fisherman, farmer, whoever, you understand me? They got people from Ministry of Finance, police, everybody there. And I think because we care, I think that's given out in cash. And the 25,000 grant. Those are the only two that were given out in cash. The fisherman grant and them other things check. So they had checks and balances. You understand? The people have to show ID and all kind of thing. And even with these cash grants that are being given out, you have to present ID and that kind of thing. I am saying to Aubrey Norton, all of those grants there have been audited. So all these discrepancies Aubrey Norton talking about, he probably need to carry by the GTU, who has not been audited. You notice you're not hearing much from Aubrey Norton on the teachers issue? Here you go.
And distributed. So there is an absence of accountability.
Blasted
and that
liar.
is critical.
Blasted liar. Liar. Liar.
And all of those are recipes for destroying our country. We want to see a structured approach, a predictable cash grant in which our people know, well, for the year, we get X, Y, and Z.
And that's the thing with Aubrey Norton and them, right? They like to put all the eggs in one basket. They ain't catering for a dark day, a rainy day, something might happen, and we still need to maintain this cash grant, right? Aubrey Norton wants to set it up so that every year, everybody know 700,000 are getting every year from the government in terms of grants. But he didn't talk about how he maintaining this. Well, he talked about oil and gas, and Guinea's been happy about benefiting from oil and gas. But realistically, let's say the government give everybody $500,000 a year cash grant for you to do whatever you want with. Y'all could calculate 500,000 by, let me say, 750,000 people. Well, we giving per person or per household. You know, you gotta work it out. How Aubrey Norton sharing all this money? Every single Guyanese is getting $500,000. So 500,000 times 750,000 Guyanese. Let me use as the minimum. We got more than that. What is the minimum we using? Y'all got any idea how much money that is? It might be more than we budget. It might be more than we budget. Let me Google it and see. This might be more than we budget. This might be more than we budget. And who got that maths on this live? 500,000 times 750,000. How much is this by? Okay. So this would make, so if we give 500,000 to 750,000 Guyanese, is 375 billion. Right? 375 billion. That is almost a quarter. How Paul come back on this live? I thought I blocked this man. I know probably it's WhatsApp I block you from. I thought I block you. I don't like see this man on me live no more, you know. Full worries. But anyway, he's saying that Aubrey Norton said 250,000. 250,000 per year. Let me use Paul calculations. Blasted worries. Can't stand this banner. Oh my God. What if he had any stake recently? Right? So it would be 187 billion plus. 187 billion plus every year. Right? Every year. 187 billion plus. Them is allotments that go into entire ministry for the whole country. Let me see how much money we get from Island Gas already. Let me Google that and see. Let me check that quickly. NRF. And that's the thing, people. These things you could find out easy. Right? 1 billion US is how much Guyanese buy? 200 billion? Around 200 billion? 1 billion US is about 200 billion Guyanese. If I'm closer, somewhere around there. Right, Paul? Paul? 1 billion US is about 200 billion Guyanese. That's what we collect so far in all. In all, Paul. You understand me? In all, that is what we collect. Aubrey Norton is proposing that we give 250,000 to each Guyanese. Right? At my calculation of 750,000 Guyanese, that's $187 billion plus. How is that sustainable when that is not even what we're collecting on a yearly basis for island gas? Think about it. The island gas sector, and imagine right now we're having favorable prices. Prices that we like. Yes, we like this. Where is Paul? Where Paul gone? Paul, where are you? Check it on Google. The Natural Resources Fund has collected about $1 billion so far, or just over $1 billion US. Right? Guyana has over $1 billion US in the NRF fund. Just over $1 billion US. So, Paul, the payment Aubrey Norton is talking about is 187 billion, 500 million and change. So there's all of the natural resources, the NRF money gone to cash grant. Paul, where are you? Where is Paul? And that's the idiocy with some of them. They don't even do the calculation to see that is bare foolishness they're repeating. You understand? So based on what Aubrey Norton is saying, we would deplete the NRF fund in 1 year, giving out these cash grants. And that's the idiocy behind the mathematics of the coalition. We don't even have the money to sustain the nonsense. Man, this woman, unless me math's wrong. Paul saying 250,000 families at 2,500. Okay. So now he changed it. We move in the goalpost. We move in the goalpost now. Right? So it's not every Guyanese, every family. Every family. Okay. So according to Paul's calculations here, is 2,500 US to at 2,500 US is 625 million. Okay, Paul, 625 million. So let's see how many years we could sustain that. Mind you, we pumping gas for how many years now? About 5, 6 years now or so, or a little more. We're pumping gas. Let's see how much years. And mind you, is since we start pumping gas, the money getting put into this fund to accumulate this just over $1 billion, right? So Paul is saying to us that if you do 625 million a year, let me do it by 4 years, one term of the coalition government. Look, listen, this is the idiocy. Now, people, listen to me. If we go use Paul calculation, right, to give each family $250,000, 2,500 US every year, in a 5-year period, it will cost 3.15 billion, right? 3,125,000,000 plus. Let me see how much to do it for 2 years, Paul. Remember, we just got over $1 billion in the Natural Resources Fund, right? We got $1 billion in the Natural Resources Fund, so 625 by 2 is the whole Natural Resources Fund that done in 2 years. You understand? So, Paul, you go and check that. The whole Natural Resources Fund done in 2 years if we listen to you and this idiot Aubrey Norton. Anyway, let me move on. We know Paul's stupid.
And therefore, they can plan and they can utilize it in a particular way. For instance, in education, I do believe that there should be cash grants in education.
Yet his administration took away the cash grant in education.
But it should be linked to school attendance.
What in heaven's name is this? Man, people, what's the requirement for these parents to get this cash grant for the children? Not having these children registered in school? The Aubrey Norton putting in requirements so that more people can benefit?
And there should be mechanisms to ensure that the grant that goes to children actually help them in education. So the absence of a plan is critical. While the government talks about diversification, we believe diversification is necessary, but we are not seeing a movement that indicates that there is diversification. There's a lot of talk about it, but we continue to depend on the same products, etc. And we have to genuinely diversify. There are many in the...
What products are we not talking about? This conversation start in discussing, let me rewind a couple of seconds here.
We're not seeing a movement that indicates that there is diversification. There's a lot of...
We were talking about student stuff. Now
while the government talks about diversification, we believe diversification is necessary, but we are not seeing a movement.
How do you plan to diversify? Why you didn't tell the man? We ain't seeing diversification in the government, but we plan to diversify by doing this and this and that.
That indicates that there is diversification. There's a lot of talk about it, but we continue to depend on the same products, etc. And we have to genuinely diversify. There are many industries that could be developed, manufacturing. For instance, I do believe in Region 10, where there's a lot of clay.
Yeah.
You can get involved in tile making, etc.
Yeah, why you didn't suggest that? Why you didn't suggest that 2015, 2020? Bust a tile making school or a factory or something up there. Like, do the foundation for it, build the fence around the place where you want, build the factory, something. Right? None of these were ideas of Aubrey Norton when he had an opportunity to influence the powers that be to change. You understand? None of these. They didn't know about tile factory. They didn't know about tile factory and all this nonsense. Now he know about Region 10 and clay and all kind of thing. Back then, all he know Region 10 had pig. That's all he didn't know about. The pigs in Region 10. Right? That's the only reason Aubrey Norton used to go to kill pig and carry pork to sell.
Of course, we know the cost of electricity is critical. And so we're not seeing again a comprehensive plan for election to bring down the cost.
What is man talking about? What about the Mile project that coming back on stream? The Gas to Shore project? What is Aubrey Norton talking about? You hear what I say when I say visionless? Excuse me. Aubrey Norton is blinded and the.
In this modern world, Guyana is experiencing blackouts.
Yeah, I suffer a couple of them.
Why Aubrey Norton? Because the Pistolero did nothing to add to the generating capacity of this country. David Patterson did nothing for GPL, overpay for the Velco or Ivoco trucks or whatever. David Patterson, who was in charge of electricity in this country, did nothing to build capacity. Nothing in relation to maintenance. And Aubrey Norton talking about black. That is David Patterson's fault. The Pistolero, he should go and pay on a transformer. That's what he should do. Y'all are.
Then, in my short stay here in the city.
No.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
You are making emphasis in something that they already asked a couple of days ago, which is a plan. I already asked, to the finance minister and to the vice president, what is the national development plan? And the answer was that they are following the guidelines that they structure in their manifesto in the leading to the elections of 2020 when they won the elections, etc. And they have been fulfilling those guidelines, essentially 5 points, those guidelines. Is that first true? And second, from your point of view, and second, is that enough?
Hear this, Rich.
First of all,
y'all listen to this, Rich. I realize I go over program time, but y'all listen to Aubrey Norton here right now. You hear me? These is the people who had 100-day plan and this and that. Y'all listen to them.
Well, it is not totally true. There are many things that they promised, including large increases in wages.
Now, here is the only thing Aubrey Norton could come with as the PPP in deliver. You understand me? Mind you, that was never a manifesto promise to the PPPC. Large salary increases for public servants. That was never a manifesto promise. It may have been something somebody said in Parliament, but it was never a manifesto promise. So let me just make that clear. Let us be clear. You understand me?
First of all, it is not totally true. There are many things that they promised, including...
No, this is like me asking the Guyanese hypocrite, tell me one major infrastructure project that y'all do in a stronghold. These people just got to box the brains. You hear what I'm telling you? Slap the hell out of the brains to find information to give people about their time in office. Right? Now he's saying that is not completely true. They haven't delivered on quite a few of their promises. And hear this man, right? Hear this man. The government promised large salary increases. Even when they were running with this thing last year or the year before, 2020, 2021 or so, they had no video of or a manifesto that they could have shown. The PVP said they were giving large salary increases to public servants. They had a Photoshop image of a banner on a poster on a power pole, claiming that that was the evidence. But on no platform or anything you hear anybody talking about 50% increase of public servants or large salary increase of public servants. No, never heard about it. And that is the only example Aubrey Norton can give how, in relation to the PPPC not fulfilling its promise. I would think the opposition leader of all people would know at least 5 or 6 that he could run right off the top of his head. Look, they do this, and this. Right? But it comes back to opposition people being able to present information like Paul without anything to back it up. So when it's true or not, they don't care. They're just putting it out there. You understand me? They're just putting it out there.
Large increases in wages and salaries for the workers, they haven't fulfilled that. In fact, they are giving workers minimal increases. The last one is 8%. 8% on a very small salary is not much. There is no plan. Clearly, there is no plan.
Okay.
Were there a plan? I'll give you a simple one that tells you there is no plan. The government recently announced that they are doing a road here called, they call it the line top road or the embankment road.
Yeah.
Now, you're saying you're widening this road. You announced that middle of this year. But early in this year, you went and built the bridges in keeping with the size of the old road. If you had a plan, then you would have done the bridges in keeping with the new road that you will build. Okay. So it does appear to me that they woke up a morning and said, oh, we need to widen this road. We probably got money to spend and we want to give up.
No, people, listen to something. Again, this is Aubrey Norton misleading people. Right? Misleading idiots like Paul with a one dry up steak he had on the grill that he did show with the time. You understand? Paul, who claimed he's so interested in coming to Guyana and building Guyana, but can't submit a proposal to anybody yet. A bunch of friggin' talk. A bunch of talk. No. Aubrey Norton plans, the PNC and plans something that don't go together. You were telling y'all, it doesn't go together.
Keeping with the new road that you will build.
No, I remember my point that I wanted to make. No, several roads, several bridges on the embankment were redone. Right? Not all, several. And it was because they were in horrible condition. Just to get over the bridge was problems. So sometimes you have to go into the other lane. You understand? Paul, you don't deal with sense. You know, and that's why you're not here dealing with Aubrey Norton, because you don't deal with corruption indeed. You can't deal with corruption. That's why you're not dealing with Aubrey Norton. And Aubrey Norton, them not dealing with you. Or we didn't see you here during 2015 to 2020. Right? So you stay there and vote for Trump. Trump 2025 or 4, whatever the election is. So some of the bridges on the East Coast Road, they were bad, causing a lot of problems for people to cross. People riding the motorcycle, they're riding a hole, the motorcycle fall along, they crash. Drivers got to go into the opposite lane because that side might be better to get across the bridge. So the government decided to do some of these bridges to bring ease to the people until the bigger vision can be implemented. But like Aubrey and his team, they rather see you suffer, broke up your vehicle or crash up your vehicle on one of them bridges there that being in horrible condition, whilst they still have a plan in their brain to make the embankment better. Right? I got one last point here I want to make before I close off this program today.
So it does appear to me that they woke up a morning and said, oh, we need to widen this road. We probably got money to spend and we want to give a few contractors. And if you go up that road, you'll see they're doing piece here, piece here, piece there. It's not structured.
So this is where it's called lots, right? And that's what's happened when you're out of government for such a long time. You're not familiar with terminology and processes and that kind of thing in government.
There is no plan for agriculture.
Well, I don't tell you about agriculture. I ain't even going into it. I want to get to the point where I want to show you all what's going on. What's the swell upon this one?
In fact, they've reopened the sugar industry and said they would have carried it to high levels of production. It's at its lowest level. So sugar is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Ghana needs a human resource plan.
Mm-hmm.
Ghana needs a plan to industrialize the society.
Mm-hmm. Why they didn't know this 2015 to 2020? Where was the 2015 to 2020 plan? All this stuff Aubrey Darton talking about. Where was the 2015 to 2020 plan?
They have some kind of a plan for electricity. I don't think
mind you, just before he was talking about blackouts and thing. Now they got some sort of a plan for power in the country, but it's not comprehensive.
I don't think it is properly planned. The gas to shore until now we don't know what the end cost would be, etc. So there are those problems. But many of the critical areas.
Everybody else aware the costing of these projects, all this information in the public domain. Only Aubrey Norton claiming he don't have it. And that is why sometimes, whilst I'm glad we got foreigners coming to this country and foreign reporters, they are not too aware of all the information. So Aubrey Norton is allowed to slide this BS by them.
Areas you're seeing no plan. I would have thought that with the emergence of oil and gas resources, one of the things that the government would have done was to put resources into the University of Guyana.
This wretch,
to make it.
Listen to me, people, oil and gas discover whilst the coalition government in power had access to oil and gas money and all them things. What they do, raise UG fees, I think by 35%. They raise public servant salary the high, right? They claim that they raise public servant salary the highest. They raise UG fees by 35%. Go to UG now, and you can see all the new buildings and things that are getting constructed on the compound of the University of Guyana, because of a larger budgetary allotment allocations from this PPPC government. These banner could see God face. These banner could see God face.
Get a high, top-notch university.
Oh my God.
In which all kinds of training can be done. And if it arrives at the point where it is
here, even if they arrive at the point, if we had the coalition in government, how many people could have afforded it? Because y'all raised the prices. Think about it. You planning to do all that for UG, but making it inaccessible to the poor people in the country?
Top notch. You will have people coming to the university.
Who people?
And the absence of a structured approach to the university suggests to me that there is no plan for education.
And why do you think, despite of having more resources, despite of having now the capabilities of actually doing something like that, creating, crafting a plan, there is not such a tool that is absolutely fundamental for any development, and when we're talking about a smaller structure with a company or a region, and even more important when we talk about of a nation. Why there is not such a thing from your point of view?
Because such a plan will not satisfy their objective. Their main objective is to ensure that their elite, their friends, families, and favorites get rich.
Listen, well, if it is that you're saying, since the Irfan Ali administration come in, that is only their friends and family getting contracts and advancing the country, well, then RB ain't doing too bad. Because if we look at the tenure of the coalition government, a full 5-year tenure, you understand me? And we have nothing to compare to what friends, family, and favorites doing. It's best we run with friends, family, and favorites and done. If that's what Aubrey Norton putting forward. Because I don't see how they're making sense. His administration, or that the one that he worked under when they were in power, has not accomplished what the Irfan Ali administration has accomplished with less time. And with, according to Aubrey Norton, with no plan. So with all the plans that they had, what happened?
And to do that, what they do is allocate contracts to them. If you're now talking about a comprehensive plan, then you can't wake up tomorrow morning and give a contract to a friend or to a family. You will be.
And that's another thing. The reporter know. Remember, he probably from Brazil or somewhere, wherever he come from. Now, Aubrey Norton is putting out a perception that ministries and ministers or the president or the vice president call somebody, here, look this contract, sign and go and build this road, or here, look this contract, sign and go and build the gas ashore project. Aubrey Norton, you very well know that that's not the truth. And sad to say, a lot of people in this country too run away with that idea that the ministers just call you in and hand you a contract and it don't work like that. So again, here is Aubrey Norton misleading this reporter about the procurement process in this country. When Aubrey Norton know his own pissing shadow minister of infrastructure violate the procurement process that I think he in court now over. And that's the barefacedness about it. He is complaining about something that he know his comrades have done and would have been doing it in their time in office and trying to put that on the PVP government.
Constrained by a development plan. A few years ago, a wide cross-section of stakeholders developed.
So this is the point that I wanted to get at to end the program and just to show you y'all what really going on and how these people are deceitful, misleading, and have nothing to offer the Guyanese people.
Develop a national development strategy and plan by a development plan. A few years ago, a wide cross-section of stakeholders develop a national development strategy and plan, which is in writing. All it needs to be is updated. But the government chooses not to do that. Because if you are guided by a national...
No, a few years ago, there was a national plan with civil society and people come together and formulate this plan. But the PPP government chooses not to do that, right? Because the stakeholders would have developed this plan post-2020. So it's only the PPP government have access to this plan to look at it, evaluate it, update it, and implement it, according to Aubrey Norton. This is where I will end the program this morning. Let me show you the blasted plan Aubrey Norton talking about, that the government is refusing to enact or whatever it is. Let me show y'all. Right? So this here is the oldest version that I could have found. There's another version that the Ministry of Finance would have, I think they just type it over. the same information. Let me show you both. This one here is from the Parliament office. This is on the Parliament website, right? And this one here is from the Ministry of Finance, Government of Guyana website. Same thing. If you look at the first couple of paragraphs, right? Same exact language. Same language, same information. Let me look at the first two paragraphs, right? So you see Guyana basic information, Guyana with an area of 83,000. Guyana is physically, Guyana has, look here. Same information. Same information. Same information. Good. Now what I want to show you here now again is this plan that Aubrey Norton claiming the government have access to and would implement and all the stuff was done since or between 2001 and 2010, right? Between 2001 and 2010. So Aubrey Blood Clot Norton, David Waste of a Granger, and Scattermouth Harmon had access to this national development strategy, right? That is lodged at the Parliament Library. You see the stamp of Parliament on it there? Please, please, people, do y'all see the stamp of Parliament on it? Let me show you. Let me bring it in close. Right? Look, the stamp of Parliament is on it there. Parliamentary Library. So they had access to this very plan that Aubrey Norton is now sitting in front of this reporter to claim, oh, there's this plan and the government just doesn't choose to implement it and they don't want to do anything with the plan and the plan and the plan. They got a plan for everything. Right? So I'm saying to you Guyanese here and in the diaspora, Aubrey Norton is a blasted liar and Paul is a blasted fool. Because all the information that Aubrey Norton is claiming that is available to this government and they are ignoring was available to Granger and his administration, and they did nothing with it. I'm scrolling through the plan so y'all could see. Aubrey Norton talk about human capacity, you talk about that here. And if you guys take a minute to read through the plan, you will see a lot of the ideas from the plan currently being implemented or has been implemented already on the various PVPC administrations, right? So this plan Aubrey Norton is talking about was available to Granger, Aubrey, Harmon, Vulgar, Guyanese Hypocrite, Pistolero, Jurita, Sherrod, everybody, Bork, everybody had this plan. Everybody had this plan. And they did not revert to it. They didn't even revert to their own manifesto plan. That's how sad they is sad. They had a plan that they didn't even want to implement. The 100-day part, the 5-year part, the 2-year, no part of the plan they implemented. So this is how long this national development strategy for 2001 to 2010 framework policy was around, right? It was updated. Let me show you all the updated version. It was updated. It was updated. This is the updated version on the Ministry of Finance page. Aubrey Norton had access to this. Joe Harmon had access to this. Granger had access to this. Amna Hadi had access to this. Dominic Gaskin had access to this. Royzel Ford got access to this. Christina got access to this. Everybody got access to this. But he only know about this when he's in a position to do nothing in relation to implementing this plan. And mind you, up to now, we have not heard what their plan is. What's your plan on making the country better? How you plan to do it? Right? What's the PNC plan for Linden and New Amsterdam and those places? That is different from the 2015 to the 2020 plan, which was nothing. How is it different? What's the difference? Y'all see why I displayed certain music without fear, favor, affliction, or ill will? Because the boy is like a goody on the nation. The banner like a goody on this nation. It's like the nation fetching around a big weight between its foot. Guyana. The weight of a Aubrey Norton. Literal goody on the nation. Imagine when you own party and like you. The party that you in charge of ain't like you. They ain't even want you to be their leader for the election. Y'all realize that this is Aubrey Norton's brightest moment? Shaquan Gill does usually tell me my productions has meet a plateau. Aubrey Norton has met his plateau. Leader of the opposition. That is it. Nothing else we could get. You what I'm telling you? That is his plateau. Leader of the opposition. And that is it. Anytime the PNC Congress go through, that is the end of Aubrey Norton. You understand? Aubrey Norton couldn't even get an eagle-eyed view at. We couldn't even get an eagle-eyed view at Aubrey Norton plan or Granger plan or any of them plan. None of them didn't take the eagle eye and look at this national development strategy and try to implement some of it. And looking at the tremendous work of this administration and trying to belittle it. No, Aubrey, we won't allow you. You understand? We won't allow you. This is what you need to do, Aubrey. This is why you do, Aubrey. Stand still. Anyway, guys, that's all the time I got with you guys today. It was wonderful being here. Remember to stay focused on the roadways. Y'all be safe. Y'all, look. Anything you hear from the opposition, second guess it. You understand me? Anything you hear from the opposition, you second guess it. They will mislead you at any opportunity they have. And for the people like Paul, who come on this live, you understand, and continue to pretend like you don't know what's going on in this country, you get away from here. We don't want you here, Paul. You notice I block you on WhatsApp? You notice I block you on WhatsApp? You don't want to argue points and facts. Bare stupidness. So Paul, Aubrey, y'all be safe. Y'all remember it's all about peace, love, one guy.
I am Gory Man, stand still. Are we gonna do a Gory Man walk right now? You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Gory walk, Gory walk, Gory walk, everything. Gory walk, jump, Gory walk, Gory walk, Gory walk, everything. Gory, me say, Gory jump, Gory jump, Gory jump, everything. Gory jump, Gory jump, Gory jump, Gory jump, everything. Hear me sing, so. Big Gory can't wear in tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can't wear in tight pants. Big Gory just hear me sing. Bang bang balang, cut your Gory. Bang bang balang, strong baby Gory. Bang bang balang, cut your Gory. Bang bang balang, hear me say. Big Gory can't wear in tight pants. Big Gory just wear on the big shot. Big Gory can't wear in tight pants. All them Gory man stand still. Are we gonna do a Gory man walk right now? You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Gory walk, Goody walk, everything. Goody walk, jump, goody walk, goody walk, goody walk, everything. Goody, listen, goody jump, goody jump, goody jump, everything. Goody jump, goody jump, goody jump, goody jump, everything. Hear me sing, so make goody can wearing tight pants, make goody just wear on the big shot, make goody can wearing tight pants, make goody just. Hear me sing, bang bang balang, cut your goody, bang bang balang, strong baby goody, bang bang balang, cut your goody, bang bang balang. Hear me, listen, make goody can wearing tight pants, make goody just wear on the big shot, make goody